children, I am Monisha from Bharathidhasanar Matriculation School, Arakkonam. Today I am going to take 7th standard social studies. The topic is the Constitution of India. Okay, so that is the Constitution of India from Civics. Okay, in that last session we discussed about what does the word stands for Constitution. Okay, now we are going to discuss about fundamental rights and duties. Okay, so the fundamental rights and duties is very essential for us. Okay, so it helps us to become a good citizen. Okay, it helps us to become a good citizen. So what does the word essential stands for here? Essential is nothing but here important. Okay, so it is very important for us. So the basic fundamental rights and duties is very important for us. Okay, so almost we have 6 basic fundamental rights. Okay, so we have a 6 basic fundamental rights. We will discuss now. Yes, okay, so the fundamental duties, that is the fundamental rights which explains like peace, humanity, equality, safety, dignity, etc. The first basic fundamental right is this right to equality. Okay, so in that they are going to explain every citizen is equal before the law of the country, which means every citizen, all should be treated as equal in front of the law of the country. Okay, it should not be based on their caste, creed or religion. Everyone should be equal in front of the law of the country. Okay, next the untouchability should be avoided. Okay, so the next is that untouchability, which means the untouchability should be avoided. If in case if we see means we have a rights to put a case against them. Okay, so the untouchability should be avoided. Everyone should be treated as equal. The next is no citizen shall be denied in a public places, to access of a public places. Okay, in olden days and all you will see some peoples would not allow a low caste people to enter into a market, temples, shopping complexes, etc. Nowadays it's not like that. Okay, everyone we have all equality. Okay, so everyone we have equal rights to access any place. Okay, so that is that no citizen shall be denied in access to the public places. The next is that right to freedom. Okay, so first we discuss about right to equality. Okay, the next basic fundamental rights is that right to freedom. The word freedom stands for, in Tamil we can say it as a sudandhiram. Okay, so we have some kind of freedom. Okay, so in that the first is that freedom of speech and expression. Okay, so you are having a freedom to deliver your speech. Okay, but you must be very conscious, children, it should not be hurt others. Okay, so while delivering a speech, it should not be hurt others. So you having a freedom of speech and expression. Okay, the next is that you also have a freedom to assemble peacefully. Okay, you have a freedom to gather a people. Okay, you have a freedom to assemble the people. It should be in a good manner one day. Okay, it should not be with the weapons. Okay, you should not gather a persons along with the weapons. Okay, so you have a rights to gather a people for a good manner. The next is that freedom to form an association. Okay, so for example, if you are going to create a charitable trust. Okay, so you have a rights to assemble a people who are all going to work in a charitable trust. Okay, so that is a freedom to form an association. Okay, so that is a freedom to form association. The next is a freedom to move freely in any part of India. Okay, you don't have any restriction, children. If you want to move any part of a country, India, you will move. Okay, so you don't have any restriction. That is a next point. Okay, the freedom to move freely in any part of the India. You have a freedom. Okay, if you want to move any places, you will move. If you want to settle down in any places, you will settle. There is no objections in that. Okay, so that is the freedom to move freely in any part of India. Next, okay, we have a freedom to reside or settle down in any part of the country. Okay, so the word reside here stands for settling down permanently. Okay, in order to settle in one places permanently. Okay, so settle in permanently. Okay, so we have a freedom to reside or settle down in any part of the country. Okay, if you want to move any places, you want to build a house from that places, you have a rights to build a house, you have a rights to settle down in that particular place. Okay, so there is no restriction. Okay, so freedom to reside or settle down in any part of the country. The next one is a freedom to practice any profession. Okay, so you have a freedom, you have a rights to practice any profession. If you want to become a doctor, okay, your wish, you want to become a doctor, if you study well, if you score good marks, you will become a doctor. There is no objection in that. Okay, as well as a teacher. If you want to become a teacher or engineer, lawyer, okay, any profession, there is no objection in that. So you having a rights to select your career. Okay, and if you want to done a trade or if you want to done a business across a country India, you have a rights. Okay, so that is freedom to practice any profession or any occupation. Okay, so this is coming under the right to freedom, rights to freedom. That is the third basic fundamental rights we are going to see here is rights against exploitation. Okay, so what does the word stands for exploitation here? Yes, in Tamil we can say it as a surundradhan solluvaanga, surandi edukadhu. I'll tell you one example, you will get it. Okay, so the Britain exploited all wealth from our nation. Okay, so you will easily get this, right? Okay, so right against exploitation. In that, the first point they are going to see, the constitution does not allow any bonded labor without any wages. Okay, so which means, okay, so yaru namma kottu adimaigal kidayadu. So yarkum namma enna panna kooda, free of cost ku work panna koodadu. So that is, the constitution does not allow any bonded labor to work without wages. Wages here stands for a salary. Okay, the next is that the law protects the children below 14 years age. Which means you will know, Kodandai Thorilalargal namba kelvi pattirupom. Okay, so the children are engaged in any hazardous field, okay, in any dangerous field of work condition. Okay, so it should be considered as a offense. Okay, the next, we have a rights to profess or propagate and practice a religion of their choice. Okay, so profess is nothing but one's opinion. Okay, you have a rights to profess, propagate and practice a religion of their own belief. Okay, so unnoda nambikkai, unnoda madam saandha nambikkai irundhuchuna enna panna, we will propagate, which means we will spread our religion, but we should not insist any person to follow your religion. Yarayum kattayapaduttha koodadu. Okay, so you have a rights to profess or propagate and practice a religion of their choice. Okay, and the next is we have a freedom to manage religious and charitable institutions of their own. Okay, so for example, okay, if you are a Hindu religion, okay, so you have a rights to maintain a religious as well as a charitable trust of their own belief. Okay, so you have a freedom to manage religious and charitable institutions of their own. And educational rights. Okay, it is coming under the article 19. It is coming under the article 2930. Okay, so it is nothing but, article is nothing but it is a numbered document. Okay, so the first it explains, it allows every community to preserve their own language and culture. Okay, so it allows every citizen to protect their own language as well as their culture. Okay, the next it explains the religions or linguistic minorities as their rights to establish their own educational institution. Okay, which means religious and linguistics. The word linguistic here stands for a language. Okay, so language minorities as their rights to establish their own educational institutions. The next we are going to see rights to constitutional remedies. Okay, so the remedies here stands for a solution. Okay, so the citizens are entitled to move law courts to safeguard their rights. For example, okay, if you are feeling where you unprotected, okay, so if we have a rights to move into the courts, okay, above 5 basic fundamental rights, it is said to be ignored by anyone, we have a rights to move to the court. Okay, so we have a rights to move to the court, so to safeguard our basic fundamental rights. Okay, then the next is that both the High Courts and the Supreme Court can issue a writs to protect our right, which means a written document is. Okay, so both the High Courts and the Supreme Court can issue a writs to protect our basic rights. Okay, so I hope children, okay, so you all enjoy this session. Okay, so with this session, time, I would like to recap what are all the topics we have learned. First, we learned about the rights to equality. Okay, next we learned rights to freedom. The next we learned about right against exploitation. Okay, right to freedom of a religion. Okay, next we learned about cultural and educational rights. In the last, we learned about the constitutional remedies. Okay, so I hope children you all enjoy this session. For further information, we have attached the study material, question bank and self-assessment, and go through it and do the self-assessment and check it out how much you